This is the hardest and maybe most fun wave challenge that I've ever made, and today I kinda wanna both decorate and verify it. But first, let me give you some backstory. So a couple weeks ago, I was watching an EVW video of him playing some full versions of main levels. This got me thinking of the different uncut songs that were used in the main levels. And I got to listening to a couple of them, like Clutterfunk, and I realized the end of Clutterfunk after the level ends is actually really cool, and I have a really cool idea for a level with that, but I might do that in the future, we'll see. But then I listened to Theory of Everything 2, and there's one specific part of that song that stuck out to me. The little boo-da-da-da-da-da part just stuck in my head for days, and I don't know what it is, I just really like it. So I started building a bit of a layout to it, but it was kinda garbo, I wasn't super happy with it. And so I eventually started making a bit of a wave challenge. I worked on this on and off for a couple days just in my free time. I didn't record it or anything, but after that I started doing some no-clip runs and actually really enjoyed it. I'm really proud of how the level flows and matches the song, and the difficulty of it was absolutely perfect to just push my limits just a little bit. And so I spent probably a little bit too long just doing no-clip runs and just trying to get as far as I could into the level. And eventually I ended up with a pretty decent no-clip run. Now, it was far from perfect, of course, but at this point I knew that I really wanted to finish and verify this challenge. So I decided to move on to decoration, which thankfully I did actually record this time. So because of the song, I wanted to try and give off a bit of a Toe 2 vibe, so the first thing I did was go into the level and into the editor and just take a little bit of a look. Get some inspiration, if you will. After I was satisfactorily inspired, I decided to start work on these first two block designs here. Now I did space these spikes a little bit off grid, but that's alright because I'll just design the structure below and then shift it up once I'm done. I didn't think about this too much while designing, I just kind of placed some blocks down and I wanted to go with something simple. I eventually shifted the background to a bit of a darker color so I could get some block color that matched with it nicely. And then I added some of these pulsing diamonds in here, and while this looked alright, I wasn't really super happy with it. But you know what, it'll do for now, so I decided to copy paste it up to the top, and then I made these weird little spiky slope things and put them in. Then decided I really didn't like the greenish color that this had, so I went back and shifted up the colors a little bit. From there, I started working on some pulses so that when the song goes, I had the object color in the background kind of pulse to black, so it was like a little bit more dramatic, you know? And when I did that, I realized just how much these little diamonds stick out, and I actually really liked that. So I shifted the color a little bit and then added a little bit of glow over them, just to make them seem a little bit more, I guess, glowy, right? And after doing that, I feel like it looks so much better. Adding glow just makes everything better, let's be honest. And then from there, I decided to call the first structure done. Once again, it's incredibly simple, and I mean, obviously it's nowhere even close to feature worthy. But you know what? This is a challenge. It doesn't matter that much. I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun with this, you know? So now it's moving on to the next structure, which I started with these little like 1.6 slopes here. I know slopes weren't added into 1.8, but these blocks are like 1.6 blocks, alright? Anyway, after getting those and the corner pieces in, I started placing in these outlines here to kind of make a separate section on the inside. And after adding in all the corner pieces, because I'm a good person, I started filling the inside of this. I decided that the Portal 1 looking blocks would work, and I started adding some more diamonds around the place as well, just to try and incorporate them a little bit more. And after getting rid of the temporary outlines and putting some more permanent ones, I'd call this part complete as well. After doing that, I decided to add a couple pulses, just so the level feels like it matches the part of the song, you know? And in order to do that, I just pulsed it between blue and white, and then added another pulse of the black afterwards. Feels very definitively Toe 2. I don't know, I like it. Then I went ahead and added some background pulses just to spice up the color a little bit. Then from there, it was just time to port the design I had on the bottom to the top. Alright, and after adding a couple ground spikes in between here and doing a little bit of polishing, this first little part was done. From here, it was time to move on to the next part, which I started with these default colored slopes here. I went with a similar theme to the previous one and added some outlines on the inside, but decided I'd do kind of the inverse of that. On the previous structure, we had dark blocks on the outside and colored blocks on the inside. I thought I'd do the opposite here and chuck some default bricks on the inside like this. Then of course I added some more of the diamonds just to try and tie this together. I want them to kind of be a common theme throughout the level so that all the parts kind of fit together in a certain way, right? It doesn't just look like parts are chopped off and there's just different parts all every 2 seconds, right? Alright, and so I decided to call that part complete for now because I had an idea for this 4 times part here. I decided I wanted to go with TOE2 second ship part vibes and add a bunch of invisible blocks here. I started by adding a few slopes sporadically just to kind of outline the gameplay, and then added a bunch of different sizes of invisible blocks to kind of fill out the rest of the structures. And after doing that, I also decided to add a bunch of spikes in there because, well, you gotta make it look a bit deadly, right? Okay, so that's a lot of the main design out of the way for now. I thought I'd go ahead and start porting this bottom design to the top bit as well until I got to this section here. I thought I'd delete the default blocks, obviously, and then put a bit of an outline there. Then I also went ahead and put an outline right at the end of the part and also in the middle where this spike is here. I decided I wanted a bit of a different design on the inside of those, so I used these Portal 1 looking blocks once again to just give it a little bit of variation. Then it was just finishing off the rest of the block design with what I've already designed. And after that was all done, I just replaced these default spikes with some colored spikes and left them as color 1, and yeah, that was a part basically done. Anyway, here's where stuff is about to get real repetitive. I started by copy pasting the first design we had and applying it to this dash orb over here as well. And then I also used the same design for the corridor just before it as well. And then after cleaning that up a little bit, I shifted my focus back to earlier in the level where I did the same design as the first sloped part. Yeah, once again, I wanted this to be fairly coherent, so having a short part of like 2 seconds and then completely shifting to something different, it's a little bit jarring, if you ask me. I don't know. Also, I am a little bit lazy. That's part of the reason, but you know. Alright, and after I had all that designed, I decided to focus on this little gap between the part that I copy pasted after and the invisible block part, of which I did the same design. Yeah, exciting. This one was a little bit more interesting though, considering I had some funky shapes to work with, but I feel like I got it to work pretty well in the end. Then I just had these spikes left here, which I just replaced them with colored spikes, put some slabs below, and then put some saw blades just to block you from going any other path than through them. Then we had one final gap to fill, and that being this little slope in here. So I went with the design that uses the color slopes. Yeah. Alright, and once I had that in place, the bulk of the decoration was done. It was just time to start polishing and adding a few more details. I started by focusing on putting some ground spikes in this invisible part, and then I used these little blocks to kind of add a bit of decoration to them. But I wasn't the biggest fan of how those ground spikes looked, so I deleted them all and replaced them with these ones here. Then it was just adding a few more details, like some little saws here and there, and just that kind of stuff, you know? Alright, and after I had all those details in place, I did a quick little no-clip run to see if there was anything I felt like was missing, and there was. The colors stayed just about the exact same throughout the whole level, and I didn't really like that too much, so I decided to shift them up a little bit. I made the level shift green here, then I made it shift pink here, then just slowly worked on adding a few more object and background pulses around the place, just to make the level feel like it fits in with the song a lot more, right? One of those being this part, which I'm actually really proud of, where the song goes, it like flashes and stuff. I don't know, I thought that was neat. And then when the song goes, duh, I made the diamonds flash white and then the block design flash a little bit darker just to make it like, I don't know, like energy pulsating or something. I thought that was neat. Alright, so you may have noticed, we have a whole part left. Yeah, I purposely decided to finish the first bit of the level before finishing this last little part, and the reason is because I wanted to go for a completely different style for this last bit. I wanted to stay within the 1.9 style, but I wanted to change it up a lot. And to do that, I decided to get a different source of inspiration. What? Yep, I decided to take inspiration from Acheron. I started by putting a bunch of these metallic looking slopes in, similar to Acheron. But then I filled out the bit below them with these colored blocks here, with everything shifting to grey. And after outlining them, I realized that the object color was way too bright, so I darkened it a little bit. From there, I added this nice red pulse to kind of bring up the intensity of this part of the song, and I think that worked really, really nicely. Then it was on to this next part, which I did the exact same design. Yeah, nothing too special here. Then I decided I needed to fill the distance between these structures textures a little bit, and I did that with some of these fuzzy blocks here. I know these have the dumbest hitboxes in the game, but I purposely put them so that you can't interact with them, so don't worry. Then I skipped straight to the end part here because I wanted to go with something super simple, and for that I just did blank black blocks like this. Really basic stuff, but I wanted a simplistic ending, and I feel like this does that pretty well. Alright, then it was on to the part before, which I used these like half slab slope looking things here, along with these blocks as the main block design here. And after extending the simplistic structure and then adding some more of the fuzzy ground spikes down below, I started to port that same design to this top bit here. Nothing too much to say here, just kind of the same design I had before, but putting it in more places. I then just replaced the spikes with blacked out spikes like this, and then started adding some of these connector blocks on the inside of these because I felt like it would look a little bit better. I don't know, just a little bit more detail, right? And I made them red just to incorporate the red a little bit more. And after I had those in place, it was once again just time for details, adding saw blades and some ground spikes and stuff like that. Alright, and then it was time for the ending. I wanted this final click to like go black as soon as you click it. And for that I started by trying to do like a completely black screen and all that kind of stuff, but I just wasn't really super happy with how that turned out. It just didn't feel 1.9 to me. It didn't feel like it fit the theme very well, so I decided to scrap that and just do a color change. I just did it with the background and the object color so you could still see these little connector bits, and I really liked how that ending was. And then from there, that was the ending part completely done. Yeah. As one last little thing, I decided to polish up the beginning a little bit because transitioning into the level was So I made the whole level fade in, then I put a little old school Tried logo down the bottom when you start it. You only see it on attempt 1, and I thought it was cool, so yeah. And from there, the decoration is finally complete. It's verification time, baby. I started just trying to beat it while recording, but then realized it would probably be a lot more fun on stream, so I started streaming. This is a very not planned stream, I'm not gonna lie. Why is my game running at like 15 FPS? Okay. No, I don't think it's gonna be a list challenge. It's not that hard. It's difficult for me, but you know, I'm not the world's best player or anything, so I'm currently in the process of editing that. I've just noticed something. Hang on. Where is it? There it is. This part here originally didn't have spikes here or D blocks. You just had to spam through there and do 2 clicks. I realized that was way too stupidly hard, so I did nerf that. Nice! Okay, yes! 34 to 100. Alright, I have more confidence now. I have a bit more confidence. Hell yeah. Alright, now to go from 0. Now I just gotta do that with all of this in between. Wave is like the one game mode where I always overestimate my skill with it. I'm like, oh, I could do that. I could do that wave part. And then I go to play it and I just like, I suck. I'm so bad, dude. The weak cat beat isn't true. I stopped using that for a while because a bunch of people were like getting really annoyed with it in the comments. And I was like, okay, fair. I've been using it in like almost every video for 6 months. I can see how that's annoying. I'll stop using it for a bit. 69. Hell yeah, alright. At least I'm getting far now. That's good. The first click actually isn't that bad. You have a lot of time to do it. You're still half speed when you have to click the dash orb, right? And you can see how much leeway there is. So it's actually not that bad. When I die to it, most of the time, I'm just looking at chat. Just cereal and milk, so there's just a soggy mush carton in my fridge. Oh, what? I can't agree with that idea. When cereal gets soggy, it's like gross. You don't want to like have perpetual sogginess. That's, oh no. If you're enjoying it, it works for you, that's great. But like, no, not me, dude. Not me. I don't enjoy it. Why? Oh, 78! I released so early! Oh, bro! Does Sakupin actually mean anything? Like, when you translate it to Japanese or whatever, does it actually mean anything? Looking it up on Google, everything that comes up is Geometry Dash related when you search about Sakupin. Okay, I need to know what Sakupin means. Stop giving me bloody... Okay, no. I'm gonna get banned, bro. No more looking for Sakupin, apparently. Okay, thank you so much for the raid, but also, if that raid was like 10 seconds earlier... That dash orb is so forgiving, it's insane, dude. Oh, you look at it, it's like, oh, that's so hard, especially mini wave dash orb, bro. Oh my, out of a spam, what? It's not that bad. Oh, 75! Oh, dude! Wave challenge player wave. I hate him for it. I now hate Aeon. This is a public beef. I'm gonna make a diss track on Aeon because I hate him now. Think this will get rated? Challenge levels don't get rated. And even if this was the length of a full level, no. Unless... Nah, this isn't getting rated. Unless. Point left, point right, Rob top question mark? Puppy eyes emoji? Why did I read that as cyclic? The cyclic diss track from Riot. You suck at the game. You had to hack to get your fame. That was kind of bars. Okay. Ah, 84! Why'd I die there? That is the most free part. Mad. I was hoping if I passed that, I would at least die to like this section over here, but I didn't. Holy, 86? Come on, I can do this. Can I get far, please? Oh my god. Top players build 4-star gameplay. Dude, that would go hard. That would actually go hard. Oh my god. Those don't get a lot of recognition. Yeah, I mean, because generally it's like not as fun to play an auto level because you're not really playing it, you're just kind of sitting and watching it. Like, there's some really cool auto levels, but like, I could just go and watch a YouTube video, bro. I don't know, man. I don't want to call it quits, dude. I really don't want to call it quits. I know I can do it. It's so annoying because I know I can, dude. I know I can. Jumps in a row and then come back to this. You reckon that'll be a good idea? Just 1, 2, 3. I'm a professional gamer, dude. Now this is where I do it first try, right? Triple spike strat? Triple spike strat? What? Crazy. You know what you're doing. Does this wave have a weird hitbox? Yeah, the hitbox is way more centered on the default wave. Hello? Fat wave time. Yo, Aeon. Should I use the fat wave? Okay. Alright. Yeah, sure. Bro, why does this wave work? I don't get it. I call hacks too. I now hate Aeon. This is a public beef. Yet a complete 180. Yeah, I take it back, dude. The fact that I was going to even make a diss track clip, I'm gonna make one of myself now. It's been 3 hours? It's been 3 hours. Oh my god. Why? Oh, dude. Saw the minecart chest. I was like, okay, there's definitely... there's definitely information stored. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. I really wanted to beat it. Just for context, at the start of the stream, I had like 1,500, I think. Really wanted to beat it this stream, but whatever. If it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, the quote-unquote quick stream ended up being a 3.5-hour stream where I didn't beat it. So later that day, I decided to beat it off stream. I was playing for about 15 minutes until I decided that, yeah, I might try turning off Wave Pulse, and I'm just gonna show you what happened afterwards. Oh my god, really? That was like 2 attempts after disabling Wave Pulse. Okay, I'm never using Wave Pulse ever again, dude. Oh my god. Oh, dude. Alright, well, that's Wave Theory verified then. There it is. Boom. Share level uploaded. Yep. It's up there. Alright, and here is the ID if you want to play it for yourself. In that last clip, I sounded a little bit disappointed, and that's because I was a bit disappointed that it only took me 2 attempts after disabling Wave Pulse. I really do like having the Wave Pulse, but oh my god, dude. Either that's a massive coincidence, or it actually does have a massive impact on gameplay. I don't know, but anyway. Really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked the kind of fusion of the building video plus the stream highlights. I know this was entirely post-commentary. I don't really love doing that a huge amount, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I think this turned out pretty decently. Big thank you to all the members once again for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you later.